Just yesterday, CD Projekt Red shared their Q1 earnings report. In this, sharing some commentary on when we're going to be seeing, and even for some, playing more Phantom Liberty. But in this, they also give a response to the recent rumor of a potential Sony buyout that could be coming, and really if there's any merit to that. And they actually give a pretty concrete response on this, along with some pretty interesting quotes around Cyberpunk 2077 and its future. This game may be getting even more support and updates than you were originally expecting, especially after Phantom Liberty. But as you probably noticed, on this channel we are constantly talking about CDPR's finances, so maybe now it's time we take control of our own money. I mean, yeah, Michael, you probably have at least one subscription you've been meaning to cancel and keep forgetting, right? Well, today's video sponsor, Rocket Money, will help address that. Rocket Money is an all-in-one finance platform, which is honestly one of the best parts. It's like a one-stop shop to improve your financial future. It'll help you be better about saving and spending less, such as with those pesky subscriptions. Rocket Money will securely identify recurring charges for you, so you can cancel these subscriptions with just one tap. And if you thought that was nice, wait until you get your first bill lowered, because yes, Rocket Money will also negotiate bills for you. Your internet service or even your phone bill right now can probably be cheaper. It's as easy as uploading a photo to the app and Rocket Money can handle the rest. But what has made the biggest difference for me is the budgeting feature. Rocket Money will allow you to set budgets on various categories, then you'll get this very friendly reminder text if you exceed them. Sometimes I just lose track of things, but Rocket Money allows me to stay aware and involved in my finances, whether this be budgeting or even my credit score. It really is a full suite of tools to help improve your financial future. So try out Rocket Money today and unlock even more features with premium. Go to rocketmoney.com/JuiceHead or click that conveniently placed link in the video description. To go along with this earnings report, we got another employee breakdown at CD Projekt Red, and this gives us some very interesting insights into what is happening at the company. And just right off the bat, for starters, we learned that Phantom Liberty is currently the biggest project there, and the expansion has 320 developers working on it as of the end of April. And even just from this chart, I feel like it gives us a pretty good visualization of how massive Phantom Liberty could end up being just with these numbers. With this bar, you could see a year and a half of Phantom Liberty claiming most of the developers at CDPR. This expansion is definitely shaping up to be quite large, just giving its dev time and dev quantity. Although even further, we could see that the new Witcher game has also had its dev count grow quite considerably this year, as that game is entering into full-scale production. But during this, they also reiterate how there's going to be hands-on sessions for both press and content creators at Summer Game Fest Playdays. But also a bit more interesting, how there's going to be hands-on opportunities for the community at later dates. We don't have any details on this thus far, and it's honestly not clear when this could be happening. The obvious choice of when a hands-on could happen would be Gamescom in late August, but CDPR is not confirmed to be there. It actually seems like CDPR won't be at Gamescom. And this all brings us to the recent rumors that CDPR apparently has plans to release Phantom Liberty just a short while after this new June trailer and the hands-on from media. What we know right now is that Phantom Liberty will be at Summer Game Fest Playdays, but as far as I can tell, CDPR has not actually confirmed they're going to be at Summer Games Fest itself. Playdays is going to be an invite-only media event the 2 days after Summer Game Fest. Summer Game Fest is going to be one of those familiar live stream showcase where you're going to see a bunch of new game reveals, trailers for games you like. I know though, I was heavily speculating that CDPR would be here. It is pretty interesting how in all of their marketing material, they only talk about Playdays, which is kind of a separate thing. Playdays is almost like an E3 in-person replacement for just media members where you are able to play some games early or meet some members of some of these dev teams. So it does make me wonder, is CDPR only going to be at the Playdays part of Summer Game Fest where the actual Phantom Liberty trailer could be coming on a different day? June 8th is Summer Game Fest, but on June 11th we have the Xbox Showcase. And in the past, CDPR has revealed things at the Xbox Showcase, so that could also work. And if you're interested in all of this, you should definitely get subscribed. I'm fortunate enough to be invited to Playdays and have secured a slot to play Phantom Liberty. But of course, building off of all of this, we have heard plausible rumors that CDPR wants Phantom Liberty to drop in late June or early July. And in the past, they did media hands-on for The Witcher 3, and that's almost exactly what happened. The Witcher 3 had people go hands-on about 2 months before full reviews were published. And it seems like a lot of this was due to the timing of having the hands-on at PAX East when a bunch of media members would be in a concentrated place. So it seems entirely plausible to me that we could see something happen here, where a bunch of media members get to play Phantom Liberty, and then just a few weeks later it releases for everyone to play. During the earnings call, CDPR says what is presented in June will be seriously worth it for fans. But imagine, after all of this waiting, we finally get that Phantom Liberty trailer, it goes to the end, and it cuts to a release date on July 4th, just a few weeks after the showcase. I think that would blow some fans away, and July 4th could actually work here. It's a Tuesday, of course, a major major holiday in the United States, but not in Poland, where CDPR is based. With the themes of Phantom Liberty, it could make a lot of sense to have Phantom Liberty drop on the United States Independence Day. And although that sounds great and interesting, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Technically, all that's been confirmed is that CD Projekt Red wants Phantom Liberty out in 2023, but there's also the issue of the community hands-on. If we're really looking at a 3-week window from trailer to release, how on earth will CDPR have time for community hands-on opportunities like they've confirmed multiple times now? So another hypothetical that has been tossed around is, what if Phantom Liberty is coming a bit later, but patch 1.7 drops at whatever summer event CDPR attends? In a past investor interview, CDPR said that an update like patch 1.6 would drop before Phantom Liberty. That would suggest 1.7 is coming before Phantom Liberty. But when CDPR uploaded the transcript for this interview and translated it themselves, they actually changed the wording to be slightly different and have different implications. So it's kind of interesting and odd. We don't exactly know what's going on with patch 1.7 and if it's launching with Phantom Liberty or not. And during the Q&A session, one brave soul attempted to get a concrete answer on this by asking if CDPR would clarify if Phantom Liberty was dropping in Q3 or Q4, but they refused. Although, one of the other interesting things we hear about during the earnings call is more updates coming for Cyberpunk 2077. From that same employee breakdown report, we can see the dev team still working on Cyberpunk 2077, not Phantom Liberty, not the expansion team, but the actual team updating Cyberpunk has actually grown slightly since the end of 2022. So Cyberpunk 2077's patch 1.7 update has actually gotten more developers over the past few months, which is really exciting. This is the update that's meant to bring things like vehicle combat and a rework to a bunch of different systems in the game. It's supposed to be the big one. And explicitly during the earnings call, CDPR confirms that there will be follow-up updates after Phantom Liberty's release, and they are going to dedicate resources to further patching it. There's been a lot of speculation that Phantom Liberty and or patch 1.7, if they're one and the same or not, will be a sort of 2.0 launch for Cyberpunk 2077, so it makes sense that further updates are planned to support that even further. Although, I wouldn't get your hopes up too high on all of this. I think a lot of these are going to be optimizations, fixes, and minor changes. CDPR has heavily alluded that Cyberpunk 2077 isn't getting any new major updates after patch 1.7, and we do know that after Phantom Liberty, they're moving on from Red Engine altogether. They're moving on to Unreal Engine. So if you were somebody hoping that we're getting a second expansion as long as Phantom Liberty sells enough, it seems like that is very, very unlikely and basically confirmed to not be happening as of right now. But then there's the Sony rumor. This was a genuinely funny story to pop up recently. It almost seems like everything originated from this one Discord message from a Destiny 2 leaker of all things. Although reportedly they have correctly leaked things about Destiny 2 in the past, they claim PlayStation plans on buying CDPR, and I think the rumor really gained steam because it does kind of make sense, at least on a high level, if you don't know much about how CDPR works. Many think Sony need to respond to some of the recent Microsoft acquisitions, and CDPR has incredibly strong IPs that would make pretty good exclusives on the PS6. Except, CDPR is a publicly traded company, and things are going to work a bit differently as a result of that. As well as just simply, CDPR has responded directly to this. During the earnings call, they kind of give a high-level response saying nothing has changed on CDPR's end. They want to remain independent. They've reiterated this numerous times in the past, as well as they have an exciting strategy going forward that definitely involves them following their own path. So basically saying, no, we don't want to be under Sony's umbrella. And if that somehow still didn't convince you, it was made very clear by their PR rep on Twitter, who says we're not in such talks with Sony. So a fairly obvious fake leak that honestly got a bit too much attention in my opinion. I think a lot of this was just due to fan perception of it, but things are still going really well at CDPR. We also just heard that The Witcher 3 crossed 50 million copies sold, making it the 10th best-selling video game of all time, at least per public data. And of course, this was likely boosted in a major way thanks to the recent next-gen version release. As well as they confirmed that the Witcher franchise overall has 75 million copies sold, meaning that The Witcher 3 is doing some serious heavy lifting here, but also that those future Witcher games are likely going to be pretty successful. Things are definitely trending upwards. And CDPR is definitely investing in that, as we also hear how the next Witcher title, codenamed Polaris, has 220 developers on it already. So overall, things are really starting to heat up around CD Projekt Red and really Cyberpunk 2077 specifically. This wait is finally coming to an end. At the very least, we're going to be getting media impressions. Get subscribed if you want to hear mine. I will definitely be posting that video as soon as I can. But otherwise, if you want to see a bit more about Cyberpunk, check out this video where I show you some new mods that can really make your game feel even more modern and like a proper 2023 game.